my coffee shop, I told one of my coworkers, Maricos, about a new thing that I'm doing. I told him that I am venturing into uncharted territory. I told him that I am leaving the safety of everything that I have ever known. And I'm entering a brave new world. A new world of cooking and eating organ meats. Now, I know. Stay with me here. Now, for someone a year ago who seldom cooked or ate meat, I am really going where I have never gone before. I told him that I went to a local farm and I got some new things to try. Now, Maricos' family is from northern Ethiopia. His family, for Easter, eats a whole lamb. The whole lamb. Needless to say, Maricos was quite understanding of my new culinary adventure that I'm on. I listed what I had bought at the farm, and when I told him beef heart, Maricos' eyes lit up, and he got all kinds of excited. I mean, really, really excited. He told me that heart is delicious. He told me it's like eating a steak. He told me to have my dad put it on the grill. Yeah, I was overwhelmed with the idea of eating a beef heart. So it stayed in the freezer for a half a month. Until Friday, when I had finally mustered up enough courage to try it. Seriously now, this is not an April Fool's joke. Now, I did tell myself that if it was really bad, I could always throw it away and I could go to Wegmans. But church, despite my doubts, I moved forward. I marinated it all day, ground it up, seasoned it, formed it into burgers, and fried it up. I know. As they were cooking, I noticed something. They were smelling mighty good. When they were done cooking, I took a super small, teensy small bite. And in that moment, I realized Maricos was right. That beef heart made the best tasting burger I have ever had. Legit. I had some serious doubts. Doubts like many of you are having right now as I am telling this story. Do you know who also had his doubts? Our man Thomas in today's passage. I kind of feel sorry for Thomas. Poor guy. He had doubted his friends one time, and that story was put into some famous book, and now he will forever be known as Doubting Thomas. It's not really the nickname that everyone aspires to have. Needless to say, for one reason or another, Thomas wasn't there when Jesus had come to visit. Maybe it was his turn to pick up the pizzas and Mountain Dew. Whatever the case may have been, the poor guy had missed it. He had missed the most important thing that had happened all week. Just like my enthusiastic coworker, or listening to me talk about beef heart, there are some things in life that we most definitely should be skeptical about. Like a man rising from the dead, walking through walls, and telling everyone to go and do ministry. That's a lot to take in. I know that there are some pastors who would preach that we should not be like Thomas. We should not have our doubts, but we should have faith. Well, I'm not that kind of preacher. And instead, I'm going to say this. Doubt is not a bad thing. It is not a shameful thing. It is a human thing. We all experience it. And we would be lying if we said that we do not. Even when it comes to our faith. We all have our doubts. Do you know what I appreciate about Thomas? It's that despite his doubts, he moved forward. Despite his doubts, he stayed in his faith community. He did not abandon his faith nor the cause. Thomas had every right to tell his disciples, "Peace out, guys. I'm not going to be a part of this ministry anymore. I'm not going to be a part of this lie." But instead, he stuck with it and took one day at a time. And a week later, Jesus comes back again. And Thomas is finally able to experience for himself what all the disciples had already known. That Jesus is not dead, but alive. And despite all logic, the unthinkable became possible. Church, if you don't remember anything else I say today, remember this. Doubt is not a bad thing. It is not a shameful thing. It is a human thing. And at this church, we are a safe place where you can be yourself. You can talk about all of your doubts and skepticism, no matter what they may be. Like doubts of an enthusiastic coworker. Doubts of a beef heart tasting good. Doubts of our hopes becoming reality. Doubts of our prayers being heard. Doubts of the medicine working or the treatment going as planned. No matter what our feelings may be, let us move forward, even in our doubts. Even if that means taking just one day at a time, maybe even one moment at a time. I have faith that amid all of our doubts, that God will show up in our lives. We will experience God's divine presence. Amen.